What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your Umbrella Spear community leader, the Umbrella Robster 97 here, and I'm back here with another live stream. You have read that title. So, in today's live stream, I'll be returning from my 2 month hiatus. You heard it right here, folks. Today, I'm going to go ahead and actually return from my YouTube hiatus. I guess you could say it was about like 2 months ago, but I don't even know. But anyway, all I can really say as of right now is let me go ahead and get the party started. Okay, so just give me 1 second so that way I can actually activate my live chat. Okay, then. Okay, there we go. That should be able to do it. So hopefully that there will be some people in the live chat so that way I can go ahead and actually, talk about this topic and stuff like that. But anyways, let me go ahead and see who's in the live chat right here, right now. We've got Olivia Rodrigo fan, aka Libby fan. How's it going? Anyways, all I can really say as of right now is it's good to see you right now, Livy. So hopefully that you're actually having a good day so far. So that's one thing that I do want to say to you. So hopefully that there will be some people in the live chat. Yep. And I guess you could say it feels like quite a while since I've actually done an actual live stream, but hopefully that there gonna be some people, in my live chat. And if there's a possibility, I might even consider inviting some people into the StreamYard panel, but that's my choice and that's up to the people's choice if they actually want to be joining and stuff like that. So yeah. Wait, hold on just a second. This person is actually new. Let me go ahead and see who is actually this. Okay, so all I can really say right now is I believe I've actually seen you like in the live chat before. I forgot who it was, but going forward, most likely I'm gonna go ahead and actually make you into a how do I say it? Into a moderator because you do seem like a pretty cool person to actually get to know. So I can go ahead and actually make you a mod, no problem. Because I have seen you before in like, other live chats. And all I can really say as of right now is this is actually your first time in my live chat. So all I can really say right now is to this new person in the live chat is welcome to the Umbrella Sphere community. But not only that, but there's also other communities, like for example, let's see. Oh yes, the Gold Spear community and the Umbrella Corporation. But unfortunately, the Umbrella Corporation is not available for the time being. So until further notice, it's actually, Umbrella Spirit community. Anyway, let me see who's here right now. Hey, Zach D, what's up, man? Yo, sir, I knew you were gonna say that. Okay, so just give me 1 second really quick, and hopefully this will be able to do the trick. Okay, so that should be able to do it. So if you can go ahead and actually type whatever you actually want to in the live chat, then I would appreciate it. But all I can really say as of right now is you should be able to be a moderator as of right now. So you should be a mod, no problem. So you can go ahead and actually type whatever you want to be saying in the live chat. And yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But going forward, you're more than welcome to actually express yourself, if anything, because, after all, you are a brand new person in my live chat. And, I do appreciate that if new people, are in my live chat. Yep. But, anyways, all I can really say as of right now is this live stream is actually off to a pretty good start, if I do say so myself. But who knows? All I can really say as of right now is I can't believe we're actually in, the month of June, meaning that's like the beginning of how do you say it? Oh yes, summer. So think about it like this, people. If we're actually in the month of June, then we should be able to be in, the season of summer. I'm not quite sure if some people actually like that particular season, summer. I mean, that's entirely up to you. But I always like weather that can be, balanced, between hot and cold. I don't like weather that's like too hot and I don't like weather that's like too cold either. But if it's like, in the middle, then I could definitely tolerate that weather, no problem. But, knowing climate these days, they always like change the weather, which doesn't really come as a shock, but that's just my own personal opinion, if anything. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can actually save some comments really quick because you people are just awesome, and that's one thing that I do want to be saying. But I just want to confirm really quick if I actually made this person into a moderator because this person should be able to, to be a mod as of right now because, I actually just don't have an issue with this, particular person being in my live chat. And I believe there was that one live stream that I was in, and I gotta say that this person was actually pretty funny. I mean, I forgot what she actually said, but if so many people actually watched that particular live stream that happened yesterday, which by the way, I could address it, but most likely I'm gonna be addressing it, tomorrow. I think most likely in the Bad Blood Misfits, but yeah. But then again, I'm doing everything I can to make sure I can balance my live streams between, this one, my main channel, and the other one. So yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some people that are gonna be commenting, if anything. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. Okay, so I think I'm starting to see some new comments really quick in the live chat, and I will get to that in just a second, really quick. So yeah. And this is actually one thing that I do want to be addressing is okay, I will get your comment in just a second, but I'm going to be using this for context purposes. So all I can really say as of right now is I know that some of you people may have noticed that I'm actually making amends with some certain people. Especially, I will get to this person really quick in the live chat, but I guess you could say that this person that I will be bringing up, I guess you could say that me and the guy are actually starting to work on our friendship, which I'm actually pretty surprised, if anything. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what the person is saying right here, right now. Hey, Jaden, what's up, man? So, anyways, all I can really say as of right now is for those who are actually wondering, yes, me and Chaden have actually decided to bury the hatchet. So, I'm not going to say the full details, but one thing that I want to say for sure, though, is you can actually go ahead and check out Chaden's recent live stream that he actually did yesterday. I could address this, but I just figured that I'll be addressing more of the further details tomorrow because I just never thought that, I just let time go by and then here we are. Me and Tannen are actually made amends. Granted, me and the guy are doing our very best to work on our friendship. So that's one thing that I will at least give credit where credit's due when it comes to between Chaden and me. So yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Chaden's gonna be saying right now in the live chat. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Okay, here it is. Just stopping by to drop a like on my way to see my mom. You have a great stream, my friend. Okay, Chaden, I just saved your comment, but all I can really say as of right now is, you do what you got to do, man. Like if you actually, have to go see your own mother, then that's perfectly fine. But I guess you could say there are times where family can just be important. And I just have to give credit to one of my newest subscribers. So, well, one thing that's for sure, Chaden, is I know for a fact that this person in the live chat is, she's actually been, supporting me as far as today. But hopefully she can look forward to my future live stream. I'm not quite sure what else I can be talking about, but one thing I want to say that's for sure though is I do appreciate that new people are actually coming in my live chat. So yeah. But anyways, give me 1 second really quick. Let me just go ahead and just take a look at my live chat really quick because I just made sure that so many people can actually express yourselves if anything. So yeah. But other than that, if so many people actually want to just talk about just random topics, then just go ahead and say whatever you need to be saying because, I'll have to think about it if I actually just want to invite some random people, of course, but who knows. But if there's gonna be like a lot of people in my live chat, then that's entirely up to them. I can't really, say if the community that I'm actually in right now, if they will be coming, of course, but who knows. But I do appreciate that so many people actually did enjoy that, particular live stream that Chaden actually did yesterday. Yep. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and see who is in the live chat really quick. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I do see it. So let me go and see who's in the live chat right here. right now. AJ, what's up, man? Anyways, it's good to see you right now, J Dog. So all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that you're actually having a good day so far. Like I'm actually seeing some people in the live chat, but I'm just crossing my fingers to make sure there's gonna be some more people, of course. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is there could be a possibility that I could, appear more in Chaden's live streams, but hopefully, me and Chaden can actually talk more about this behind the scenes and, hopefully me and the guy can actually plan something out, of course. I mean, it's not going to be like, every day because, we actually have lives outside of the internet, of course. But, there could be a possibility, of course, but I just never thought that, more of Chaden's friends is actually, supporting me. Like this is just, I guess I could say fantastic, phenomenal, or either one of the two. But this is just, both, you could say. I mean, whoever thought that me and Chaden actually taught things out, and I'm just receiving more support from, I guess you could say from the man himself. Yep. But anyways, if some people actually just want to just talk about just random topics and just go ahead and say whatever that you need to be saying. But if some people actually want to be invited into the streamer panel, I might have to think about it, but perhaps a little later because I actually just want to get to know, some of my subscribers slash supporters in the live chat because I actually want to give some people have that chance to actually speak out, if anything. Yep. I mean, who knows? But let me just go ahead and just take a look at my live chat just to make sure there's gonna be some more people. But if not, then I don't even know what to say from here on out. But yeah. Okay, so I believe I'm seeing a new comment, and I will get to that in just a second, really quick. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Okay, so I just got word that some of my friends, I guess more particularly, from the Week Club, is actually going to be going live. I mean, all I can really say as of right now is I would join on, that live stream, but I actually want to do my own live stream because, I actually want to make sure that, I let, some of the people know in my live chat that I'm actually doing, my live streams every now and then. And yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Okay. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get to, this person's comment in just a second, really quick. So, let me go ahead and make sure who is here. Okay. So, let me go ahead and see who is here, right now. We've got the Weedest Heat 96 Classics. How's it going? This is what he's saying right now. I am doing a stream in a bit. Okay, so all I can really say as of right now is this is one thing I want to say, especially to you, Classics, is if you're actually going to be doing your own live stream, that's actually, good news to hear. I mean, I would consider joining your live streams, but I actually want to do my own live streams. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But I guess you could say if more people actually respect you, in the week club, then that's entirely up to you. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what some people are going to be saying really quick. Okay, so let me see what Libby Fan is saying right now. Wait, Classics, you're doing a stream? Let's see what Classic is saying right now. It's in 2 hours. Okay, so all I can really say as of right now, so this is one thing I want to say, especially to you classics, is if you're actually going to be doing a live stream in about like 2 hours, then that's actually fine. But keep this in mind, I'm actually going to be doing, still my own live stream. So hopefully you can understand where I'm actually coming from, if anything. But anyways, let me go ahead and get to some more comments in just a second, really quick, because this is one thing that I'm actually noticing. I think that both Livy and Classic are actually just having a good old conversation right now in my live chat. But, anyways, let me go ahead and see what Livy is going to be saying. right now. Oh, okay. Let me see what Classics is saying right now. Yes, Olivia, every Wednesday. Okay, so this is one thing that I want to be saying for those who don't know. This is actually Livy's real actual name, and she actually goes by Olivia Lacey, if anything. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to say to the people that are actually watching this as of right now. But anyways, let me go ahead and make sure. Wait. Okay, so let me go ahead and make sure there's gonna be some more comments in just a second, really quick. So yeah. Okay, so I will get to this comment in just a second. So yep. All right, then let me go ahead and see what this person is gonna be saying right now. Hey Jay, what's up, man? Okay, all I can really say as of right now is it's good to see you right now, Jay. So let me go ahead and see if I can actually make you into a moderator. So give me 1 second, and hopefully that you should be able to be a mod. But let me just go ahead and actually just check something out really quick. So, alrighty then. Okay, so that's all I wanted to know. I just wanted to make sure if that was like your actual channel, if anything. Yep. Okay, so I just verified your channel just really quick just now, Jay. So thankfully it is you. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually make you into a moderator, no problem. So I will definitely make you a mod into, in a sec or so. But anyways, let me go in and see what Livy is saying right now. Yeah, me and Classics are good friends. So I see. So I can just tell that both of you have turned into good friends or have become into good friends. So yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and actually, get this started really quick. But I'm just waiting to make sure if there's gonna be some more comments in the live chat because I guess you could say that so far I'm actually having a good time right now in this live chat. But I'm just waiting to make sure there's gonna be some people, in the live chat really quick, I guess you could say more people because if there's more people, then this live stream is definitely going to be interesting, of course. But if some people are actually busy, then I can't really say anything about that. So yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Classic is going to be saying right now. We are good friends, Olivia. That's right. Okay then. So let me go ahead and make sure if I can actually get this started really quick. Alrighty then. So okay, that should be able to do the trick. So you should be a moderator as of right now, Jay. So I guess you could say that you are, a mod. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying right now. So hopefully that you should be able to actually see it. So hopefully you can go in and actually type in anything you actually want to in the live chat. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. But other than that, all I can really say right now is I'm just waiting to make sure there's gonna be even more people, so that way, we can go in and actually keep this conversation more interesting, of course, because to the people in the live chat, you are just like awesome to actually, to have a civil conversation with, if anything. Yep. But if some people just come by just to be my live chat, just to say hi to me, that's perfectly fine. Because if some people actually just have like their own personal lives to be dealing with, and you know, that is entirely up to them, of course. So yeah, but other than that, all I can really say as of right now is I'm actually having a good day so far. Despite there being like hot weather and stuff like that. I mean, this is just my honest opinion. I guess it's okay to have like hot weather, but not if there's like too much. I mean, think about it like this: if there's like, I guess you could say like 100 degrees, that is like going over the top, if anything. But that's just my opinion because we have to make sure that we don't have like too much hot weather, if anything. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Classic is going to be saying right now. I am gonna head out. Just came to stop by. Oh, okay then, classics. All I can really say as of right now is it's good to see you right now. So if you actually have to do your own live stream, that is perfectly fine. But I do appreciate that you actually stopped by, if anything. I mean, all I can really say as of right now is I would consider joining your live stream, but again, I have to make sure that I have to do my own live stream, just to give you a heads up on that. So hopefully you can actually understand where I'm actually coming from. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. Yep. But other than that, let me go ahead and see what some other people are going to be saying right now in the live chat. I think some people are actually talking about you classics, but who knows? But yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Livy is saying right now. Bye, classics. See you in your stream. Let's see what classics is saying right now. Bye. This is what he's also saying. See you later too, Olivia. Okay, so all I can really say as of right now is it's actually, good to see that you were actually here, Classic. But all I can really say as of right now is I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some more people. Most likely, I'll let them know, through my private DM that they actually want to be in my live chat, but who knows? Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is to the people that were actually here in my live chat, I do appreciate it, but I'm just, really hoping that there will be some more people. And this is one thing I want to say to this person in the live chat. I would make you into a moderator. So yes, I could make you into a mod, but you know, you need to have a profile picture if anything, because I only allow people that have like profile pictures, like real ones. I will only make those into actual moderators, so I will make those people into mods. But if it's just like a blank one, then unfortunately I can't do anything about that. But think about it like this: if you can actually update your own profile picture, it could be anything. Think about it like a character from a movie, a TV show, or even a video game. I would appreciate that. But yeah, you have to make sure it is actually a good one, of course. But this is just my own personal opinion, so hopefully you can actually understand where I'm actually coming from. But this is just my own personal opinion, so yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and let some people know that I'm actually live right now behind the scenes if they actually want to be in my live chat, because I do appreciate that some people are actually, here, of course. But all I can really say right now is this: if not a lot of people from the community that I'm actually in right now are not going to be able to show up, then I can't say anything about that. But this is my own personal opinion. 9 times out of 10, you know, the members in the community I'm actually in right now, they would usually be in my live chat, but who knows if they'll actually show up, of course. I mean, I could DM them, of course, but I can't guarantee if they'll actually be in my live chat, of course. But I do enjoy that the community that I'm actually in right now, and yeah. And one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I guess you could say to a certain extent, we're always looking for like new members, of course. So if there's like new people that are in the live chat, I wouldn't mind it. But at the same time, you have to get to know me and some other members, of course. And one thing that is for certain though is you would have to get to know the other leader, of course. I'm not the only one that's in charge of Umbrella Spirit community. You know, I guess you could say I'm not the only leader, of course. I mean, you also have the other one, of course. I mean, Spirited 21, of course. I'm just saying though, for content purposes, of course. But who knows? But I'm kind of expecting some more people to actually show up in my live chat, but I'm just still waiting to make sure if they'll actually show up, of course. But I do appreciate that I'm actually, gaining viewership. I do appreciate, receiving the viewership that I do appreciate, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure what else to be talking about as of right now. But if so many people in the live chat can actually come up with like some, fun topics, then I'll be able to actually talk about it. And yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But let me go ahead and actually take a look at something really quick. So just give me 1 second really quick just to make sure. Okay, that's all I wanted to just make sure really quick. But other than that, all I can really say as of right now is wait, hold on just a second really quick. I believe I'm receiving a link from one of my friends behind the scene from YouTube. And okay, this is one thing I want to say as of right now is this video, it could be funny, but I'm not gonna be able to, react to it because, I don't know. I mean, it could be funny, but I'm not gonna react it in this live stream. Oh boy. Because I actually just want to focus on my audience, of course. So yeah. But anyways, I do appreciate like like this particular video that was just sent to me just now. But again, I'm not gonna just react to it because I mean it is funny, but I don't want to go off topic, of course, because I actually just want to focus on my live stream, of course, for this one. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying as of right now. But anyways, I'm just still waiting to make sure if there's literally going to be any new person, of course. But if there's not going to be like a lot of people, then I don't know what else to be saying. But one thing that is for certain though is I still want to keep going with this live stream, of course, because I don't want to like keep like delaying live streams because that's one thing that I don't like to be doing, of course, because I know for a fact that the community that I'm in right now, they actually want me to actually continue live streams, and that's one thing that I'm gonna be doing for them. Yep. But let me go ahead and make sure if there's gonna be some other people in the live chat because I could have sworn that, you know, there should have been like more people, of course. But if they're actually busy right now, I can't really say anything about that. But who knows? But yeah. But all I can really say as of right now is, I mean, I guess I could talk about a little bit about yesterday's live stream, but I'm gonna go ahead and actually save that topic for tomorrow when I try to address it in the Babylon Misfits YouTube channel, of course. And keep us in mind, it is a group channel, of course. Myself and 3 other members, of course. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and actually take a look at the time really quick. So just give me one particular second, or 1 second rather. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we've just reached the 30-minute mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this live stream for another 2 more hours. And after that, I'm gonna go ahead and actually end this live stream around the 2 hour and 30-minute mark. So keep that in mind, people. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with this live stream regardless because I still just want to just talk about some random topics, of course, and that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for some more people to actually show up, of course. So yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to come up with some random topics for me to actually talk about, of course, but who knows? But this is one thing I want to say to the people in the live chat is if so many people actually have some actual random topic for me to talk about, then go ahead and say whatever that you need to be saying, of course, because I'm just waiting very patiently. So that way we can just go ahead and we can go ahead and just talk about just having a civil conversation, of course. Yep. But let me go ahead and actually check out some DMs really quick. Alrighty then. So let me just check this out really quick. No problem. Yep. Okay, so far I'm not really seeing anything all that much as of right now, but all I can really say as of right now is, to the people in the live chat, just say whatever that you need to be saying, of course. I mean, I really wish the community would, that I'm in right now, like the members would be in my live chat, but like I said just now, I can't really dictate if they're actually going to be in my live chat, of course, but regardless, I'm still going to be waiting for them, of course. Maybe not, all of them, of course, but at least some of them, of course, because I know for a fact that that there's some of them or the majority of them would be in the live chat, but who knows? Yep. But one thing that I'm going to be saying for certain though is I'm still going to be keeping this live stream up, keep going regardless because, I just don't want to keep on delaying live streams, of course, because, I just like doing this live streams just to interact with so many people, of course. So, yeah. But I'm just wondering like if the new person's going to be showing up, but who knows. But all I can really say as of right now is I'm going to go ahead and just, wait regardless. Yep. But let me go ahead and make sure if I can let some more people know that I'm actually doing this particular live stream, of course. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say. And one thing that I'm actually noticing as of right now is I guess you could say that some of my friends are actually returning to YouTube, I guess, to be making content. And this is actually just, fantastic news for me to actually hear. Yep. I mean, I get the fact that, myself and some other people have lives outside of YouTube, but at the same time, some of my friends are just here to actually express themselves, and that's one thing that I got to give props to some of my friends, of course. Yep. But anyways, wait, give me 1 second, really quick. I want to make sure if some of my friends are actually gonna go live, especially when it comes to classics, of course. But yeah. But let me just go ahead and just take a quick look at this really quick. And so far, I'm not really seeing anything at the moment. Yep. I mean, I'm not quite sure if Classic is still here in the live chat, but there could be a possibility that I could join his live streams in the future, but I have to make time. I have to make time first, if anything. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is I'm still waiting to make sure if there's literally going to be some more people in the live chat, of course, because I'm just doing everything I can to make sure I provide these live streams for you people to actually be enjoying, of course, and yeah. I mean, one thing I want to say that's for sure though is open forums can be good every now and then, but I'm just really hoping I can do some more topic writing when it comes to my channel, my main channel. But if so many people can actually just give me some ideas, then hopefully I'll be able to actually do it for my channel, of course, my main channel, for future live streams, of course, because I want to do whatever I can to make sure I provide these, I mean, these live streams may not be fun, but at least they can be some, good for entertainment, value or entertainment purposes, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. But going forward, I'm still gonna let some people know, regardless, to make sure that I'm actually live. But this is one thing that I want to be saying though, for certain though, is if there's not gonna be a lot of people in the live chat, I mean, this is one thing that I don't want to be doing though, is I don't want to be getting rid of this live stream because I still want to keep going, of course, because I still want to just provide these live streams for you people to actually be enjoying, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying for sure. Yep. Wait, hold on. Just give me 1 second, really quick. This is something that I do have to check out really quick. So keep us in mind. Okay, this is one thing I want to say, especially to you, Jay, is I do believe you have like one video, but I'm not gonna react to it because I get that it's funny, but at the same time, I'm not even gonna react to it. I don't think it's not even worth it. But at the same time, I will admit the video was actually pretty funny to actually be enjoying, of course. So I just have to give props to you because you're actually knowing how to fully edit your videos, and yeah, I guess that's what makes it entertaining in a way. Like if you actually know how to edit your own videos, then that's what makes it fun, of course. But if some people actually want to, have their own unique style when it comes to making content, then it's up to them. I mean, me personally, I just like to just stick with, live stream. And I guess you could say that some of my other friends, they just would rather prefer making actual videos, if anything. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying though, for sure. Yep. But anyways, hopefully that so many people are actually enjoying this live stream. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying really quick. Yep. Okay, so I think this person is trying to let me know that he's actually going to be going to Florida at the end of the month. But all I can really say as of right now is if this seems to be the case, then, I got to give you props if you're actually going to be going to Florida at the end of the month, of course. Yep. So this is one thing that I'm actually noticing as of right now is I guess you could say that some people actually want to be visiting the state of Florida and you know I can just tell that's I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but certain people actually want to be going there just to enjoying the weather and stuff like that. So yeah. Me personally, I actually never visited Florida, but I heard it's actually nice over there, especially when it comes to like the weather and stuff like that. So yeah. But anyways, give me one second really quick. This should be interesting that you're actually going to be doing a face reveal when you actually go to, the home state of Florida. This should be interesting. I mean, I'm not quite sure how that's gonna work for, anything, but if so this is one thing I want to be saying right now is if this person wants to actually reveal his face, then that's entirely up to him, of course. But this is actually going to be pretty shocking if he's actually going to be doing that. I will be surprised, like for real. I mean, it's not like every day if people actually want to reveal their face and stuff like that. So yeah. But one thing I want to say though, that's for certain though, is for certain YouTubers, it's up to them if they actually want to reveal their face or not. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if some people are actually gonna be commenting, of course, because at least this new person is actually in the live chat. Well, yeah. But all I can really say as of right now is if some people can actually comment some more in the live chat, then I would highly appreciate it because, that's what makes live streams interesting every now and then. Yep. But let me go ahead and see if there's anything going on with my private DMs, of course, because yeah. Okay, so I don't mind like DMs every now and then, but I can't be checking up every DM, of course, because I'm actually doing a live stream, of course. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is if some of you people actually have some more interesting topics for me to talk about, then just go ahead and just say whatever that you need to be saying, of course. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and see who's here right now in the live chat. We've got Dark Mac 515. How's it going? Okay, this is what you're saying right now. Good evening, Umbrella. All I can really say as of right now is it's actually good to see you right now, Dark Matt. So hopefully that I actually got your numbers correctly, like 515 or something. So yeah. Or 515. I don't know. That may seem slightly long. Or especially like the other numbers, or how do I say it? Oh yes, 515, but at the same time, I don't think I want to say those numbers because that may seem slightly a bit long, of course. So yeah. But I'll just go ahead and just say the other numbers, of course. But anyways, Darkmat, since you're actually here right now in the live chat, you can go ahead and say whatever that you actually want to say as of right now. But I'm actually, pretty surprised that you're actually supporting me as of right now, and that's one thing that I do appreciate from you. So yeah. But anyways, Darkman, you can go ahead and just say whatever that you want to be saying. Yep. But let me go ahead and actually check out some more DMs really quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for some more people, of course. But then again, this is my own personal opinion. I guess this live stream just started, of course, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just wait for some more people, of course, because I just don't know what else to be talking about, of course. I mean, I did return from my 2-month hiatus, but I didn't really have to address that all that much, of course. But Yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is so far I'm actually having a good day so far, and hopefully I will be able to provide some more interesting, fun live streams for you people to actually be enjoying. Yep. But let me go ahead and make sure if there's gonna be some more people in the live chat. But let me just check out something really quick. Alrighty then. So let me just check this out really quick. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yep. But anyways, one thing I want to say, especially to you, Dark Matt, is hopefully that you're actually having a good day so far, and that's one thing that I want to be saying to you. Yep. But anyways, Dark Matt, you're more than welcome to actually say your piece whenever you can, of course. Yep. But at the same time, this is one thing I want to say to you, Dark Matt, is I actually do enjoy those, good old conversations that we're actually having on Instagram. I mean, granted, I'm not really active all that much on Instagram, but sometimes I like to check on it from time to time. But throughout the majority of my time, I just like to check on both Facebook and Discord, if anything. Especially Facebook, because me personally, Facebook's, seems much more easier to use than both Discord and Instagram combined. Yep. I mean, yes, I like to check up on Discord every now and then, but not too much like Facebook, but not too less like Instagram, of course, just in the middle. Yep. But then again, Facebook does seem, like an easier platform to actually be using, especially when it comes to communicating with actual friends, of course. So that's one thing that I will give credit where credit is due when it comes to Facebook, if anything. But if some people don't actually like to be using Facebook, then that's their own personal choice. So yeah. But anyways, I'm still gonna go ahead and just wait for some more comments to actually be showing up, of course, because you people are just awesome, and that's one thing that I just have to give props to the people in the live chat. So yeah. But anyways, I'm still gonna go ahead and wait to make sure if Dark Matt's still gonna be saying his piece, of course. So yeah. And this is one thing that I do want to be addressing really quick is I guess you could say one time when I actually did an actual live stream in the Babylon Misfits, group channel, of course, I'm actually noticing that, some newer people are actually, being in the live chat more. So I might consider doing some more live stream when it comes to like the Babylon Misfits. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But then again, it's just myself and three other members who are actually, have access to the YouTube group channel, of course. So thankfully, myself and three other members can actually do, you know, whatever we want. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Dartmat is gonna be saying right now. Either way, it's fine. You put on slow mode. Wait every 5 minutes. My day is great. Thank you. Oh, okay then. All I can really say as of right now, Dartmat, is there is a good reason of why I put, slow mo. So that way, I have to make sure that the live chat's not going like too fast, of course. So I hope you can actually understand where I'm actually coming from, Dartmat, but give me 1 second really quick because I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can actually try to make you into a moderator, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. So most likely I will be making you into a mod, of course, but just give me 1 second so that way I can actually try to make that happen, of course. So yep, that's one thing that I want to be saying. So give me 1 second and hopefully I'll be able to, make you into a moderator, no problem. So let me go in and actually save your comments really quick and, hopefully I can actually make this happen, of course. So just give me 1 second really quick, Dartman, and I'll be able to make you into a mod, no problem. And yeah, and once I actually make that happen, I think you can actually bypass slow mode, if anything. I mean, I'm not quite sure how slow mode works completely, but yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, Darban. So from the looks of it, this is what I see. So if people like this is the way I see it. If people are actually moderators, like if I actually make them into mods, then they can actually type in the live chat, no problem. and they can actually bypass slow mode. But for those who are actually non-moderators, the ones who I haven't made mod, then they will have to be waiting, for slow mode, of course. But not to worry, I'm gonna go ahead and actually fix this dark man. So once I actually make you into a moderator, yes, I will make you into mod. You should be able to bypass slow mode, if anything. So yeah, but keep this in mind. I don't know how slow mo works all that much. I only know a little bit, but just I don't know like all of it, of course. But that's just my own personal opinion. So hopefully you can actually understand where I'm actually coming from. But yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and make sure there's gonna be some more people in the live chat really quick. I mean, I do see, at least some viewership, but I'm just waiting to make sure there's gonna be some more, of course. Yep. But one thing I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'm actually having a pretty good time just me doing this live stream. But I'm just really hoping that there could be some more people, of course. So that way, this live stream could be all the more interesting, of course, because, to the people in the live chat, you are just awesome to actually, interact. And that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. So yeah. But other than that, let me go ahead and see if I can actually try to make this happen really quick. Alrighty then. So just give me 1 second. So yeah. But anyway, this is one thing I want to say in regards to you, Dartmat. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually make this happen, and you're more than welcome to actually, say your piece. And I guess in a little while, if some people actually want to join the live stream, they are more than welcome to actually do so. Just let me know, and I'll be able to invite you, no problem, of course. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and get to my live chat really quick, so that way I can try to make Dartman into a moderator, of course. So most likely I'll make him into a mod. So just give me 1 second, really quick. Okay, this should be able to do it. So there we go. But anyways, one thing I want to say to you, Dartman, is you should be able to say whatever that you need to be saying. So you should be able to bypass slow mode right now. So yeah, but one thing I want to say though, that's for certain though, is there is a good reason of why I put slow. That way, I have to make sure that the live chat's not going like too fast, of course. So hopefully you understand where I'm actually coming from. But going forward, you're more than welcome to say, anything you want in the live chat right now. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is you should be able to do one as of right now. Yep. Okay, so I believe I'm seeing a comment from Dartmat really quick, and I will get to that in just a second really quick. So yeah. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what Dartmat is saying right now. Understood. Thank you. Okay, all I can really say as of right now is, I do appreciate, that you understand where I'm actually coming from, of course. So I believe I'm seeing some new comments in the live chat, and I will get to that in just a second, really quick. But I want to make sure that I actually, I can actually check out some comment, but I want to do it, one by one because I don't want to go by multiple ones because it can be hard to actually keep up, of course. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying as of right now. But other than that, all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that some of you people are actually just enjoying this live stream, of course, and hopefully I'll be able to do some more live streams like this in the future. So yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and see who's in the live chat right here, right now. Hey Leon, what's up, man? Anyways, it's great to see you right now, Leon. So all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that you're actually having a good day so far. Actually, scratch that. Hopefully they're actually having a great day so far. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, especially to you, Leon. But I do appreciate that from time to time you like to check up on me in my live chat, and that's one thing that I do appreciate from you, of course. Yep. But anyways, Leon, since you're actually in the live chat, you're more than welcome to say whatever that you actually want to say, of course. Yep. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get to Dartmatt's comment really quick. So, alrighty then, let me go ahead and actually see this for myself. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what Dartmatt is saying right now. What you do today. Okay, so to answer your question, Dartmatt, so I'll tell you about my day as of right now. I guess you could say that I was walking some dogs. Yes, I actually did, but they're actually from, from family, you could say. But all I can really say as of right now is I would consider it as an exercise because, I actually get to do some walking, of course, but not only that, but also, the dogs that I was walking, they also get to get some exercise as well. So yeah, I may not be like a huge dog person, but I would say I'm more of a casual dog person, if anything. But that's just my own personal opinion. But this is one thing that I do want to be addressing though, when it comes to like, dog lovers. I mean, there are some that, there are some people that do love dogs. The ones who are casual and the ones who are experts, I don't even know, but that's just my opinion. Wait, hold on just a second really quick. So, I think I'm receiving a DM really quick from Facebook. So, let me go ahead and see what's going on really quick. Okay, so this is one thing that I do want to be saying right now. So, okay, so I just received another DM. I think one of my friends on Facebook is actually, is sending me a meme, and it's just funny how, this friend of mine is actually sending me a pretty funny meme. So that's one thing I got to give props. But anyways, let me go ahead and see who is in the live chat right here, right now. We've got Nigerian Sniper 666. How's it going? Anyways, it's good to see you right now, Nigerian Sniper 666. So all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that you are actually doing well for yourself. But all I can really say as of right now is, you know, I do enjoy, like, how do I say this? Oh yes, the content that you're actually providing, of course. So yeah. But all I can really say when it comes to you, Nigerian Sniper 666, is just do whatever that you need to do, especially when it comes to your content. And one thing I want to give you props for is the editing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and see who is in the live chat right here, right now. We've got the homie Black Sheep of the World 98. What's up, man? Anyways, it's great to see you right now, Black Sheep. So all I can really say as of right now is hopefully that you're actually doing well for yourself, man. Because all I can really say when it comes to you, Black Sheep, is I actually enjoy your content even more now. Because one thing that I got to give you props for, Black Sheep, is you're actually knowing how to fully edit your videos, and that's actually a great thing because you're actually gaining subscribers and plus more viewership, and you actually put hard work and dedication into your content, of course. I mean, what can I say? Because people actually want to get to know you more. So yeah, that's one thing I got to give you credit where credit is due, Black Sheep. But anyways, let me go in and see what Nigerian Sniper 666 is saying right now. I'm grand, mate. Just enjoying my evening. Oh, okay then. Well, all I can really say as of right now is it's actually fantastic that you're actually grand right now, Nigerian Sniper 666. So yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and actually save some of these comments really quick because you people are just awesome, of course. So yeah. So let me go ahead and actually do this really quick. So yeah. Okay, so I believe I'm receiving some more DMs, but I'm gonna go ahead and actually get to, I'll look into that in just a bit, but let me just go in and actually take a look at the live chat really quick because I'm actually seeing some new people in the live chat, which I do appreciate, of course. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Black Sheep of the World 98 is saying right now. I try. Oh, okay, then all I can really say as of right now, Black Sheep, is, just do what you gotta do when it comes to, your videos and stuff like that. Oh, and by the way, this is one thing that I want to be saying in regards to you, Black Sheep. I'm not quite sure if you actually heard the news, but I'm gonna be saying this for context purposes, but I'm not gonna be saying any names. But I was able to actually defend you from a certain, I'll say the code name, Gay Man Fan, which by the way, I'm not gonna be saying his name because let's be honest, you could say that a lot of people literally destroyed his ass, especially Nigerian Sniper 666. I mean, it's safe to say, so this is one thing I want to say for content purposes. So it's safe to say that not only from people from America like him, but people outside of America, especially Nigerian Sniper 666, a person from Nigeria, even he doesn't like Game Man fans. So yeah. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. So I'm pretty sure when it comes to you, Black Sheep, I'm pretty sure you can actually agree where I'm actually coming from because yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. But all I can really say right now is, it's safe to say that more and more people, I would say a lot more people, are actually taking our side over his. And not only that, but we actually show proof, something that he doesn't, of course. But this is one thing I want to be saying right now is I will not be surprised if he's gonna be continuing be making drama videos on on all of us. And if that's going to be the case, he will be receiving more backlash than ever before. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Black Sheep is saying right now. I'm glad more and more people are calling that loser up. All I can really say as of right now is I can actually agree where you're actually coming from, Black Sheep. Yep. But all I can really say though is I can actually agree where you're actually coming from. Yep. But yeah, I don't even know what else to be saying though. But yeah, it's just the way it is, that certain people are actually gonna still calling out his ass, which by the way, he definitely deserves it, of course. But who knows? But all I can really say as of right now is I'm not gonna be addressing that particular individual too much because I'm actually just doing this live stream, of course. So yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what some other people are going to be saying really quick behind the scenes, of course. But anyways, if there's going to be some more topics in live chat, then just go ahead and actually say whatever that you need to be saying. Oh, that also reminds me really quick. So this is one thing I want to say in regards to the both of you, both Black Sheep and Nigerian, or Nigerian and Black Sheep. So I'm not quite sure if you actually saw each other's videos, especially when it comes to calling out that certain gay man fan loser or gay man loser. Yeah, yeah. Or better yet, that could be better. Gay man loser. But this is one thing I want to say. It would just be cool if you actually checked out each other's videos, of course, because one thing I will give props to the both of you is the both of you do know how to you know know how to fully edit your videos, and that's one thing I got to give props to the both of you, of course. So yeah. Yep. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure there's gonna be some more comments, of course, because you people are just literally awesome to actually to be interacting, of course. So yeah. Okay, so I believe I'm seeing a new comment really quick, and I will get to that in just a second, really quick. But just give me 1 second, really quick. Okay, I can just tell like what's going on with behind the scenes on Facebook. So, I mean, there's one thing I want to say right now. I can just tell them that some of my friends are actually just having fun right now. But at the same time, I'll have to look into these DMs a bit later because I actually want to focus on this live stream, of course. So yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and see if I can get to Dartmat's comment really quick. Okay, so I will get to your comment really quick, Dartmat, and I'm only going to be saying it for context purposes. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what Dartmat is saying right now. Larry the lame dude. All I can really say as of right now, Dartmat, is he is definitely lame. And not only that, but he doesn't know how to fully edit his videos. And not only that, but even Black Sheep can actually, back me up on this one. His content is just beyond boring. It's like, he doesn't know how to fully edit. And not only that, but I guess you could say when it comes to his microphone, I gotta be honest, it's complete shit. Like, why is the microphone, pretty low? And when he at least tries to join streamer panels, it's like you can barely understand what that guy is saying. But again, I'm not gonna be saying the full details, but that's just who he is, of course. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, especially when it comes to you, Dark Matt. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and make sure if there's gonna be some more people, of course, because you people are just awesome to actually, yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying right now is you people are just awesome. But I can honestly agree where Black Sheep is coming from that, more and more people are actually calling that loser up or out, whatever you want to call it. But it's just the same thing, of course. But I'm gonna go ahead and make sure if there's gonna be some, more comments really quick because you people are just awesome. Yep. So one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for sure though, is I'm still gonna be still doing this live stream, of course, because you people are just awesome to actually be around. And yeah. Oh, and this is actually one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is okay. So this is one thing I want to be saying right now. So if this particular gay man loser keeps bothering us, then I will say something about it. But at the same time, I don't want to keep making live streams on him because I guess you could say is whenever we call his ass out, he just plays the victim, of course. Like that's what he likes to be doing. And do you want to know the funny part is, this is the part that's absolutely funny is he literally has no backup, of course. Like he doesn't anymore. Why? Because I know for a fact that Jackal Gold Kick actually, cut tie with them. So yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. But anyways, wait, hold on one second. So okay, so I do see your comment right now, Nigerian Sniper 666, and I will get to that comment in just a second, really quick. So yeah. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what Nigerian Sniper 666 is saying right now. I was one of them at Black Sheep of the World 98. So I see. But all I can really say as of right now is Nigeria Sniper 666 is I'm not quite sure if you are subscribed to Black Sheep of the World 98, but if you actually want to subscribe to his channel, I can actually provide it to you, behind the scenes, of course. And I could even say something about you, Black Sheep. If you actually want Nigeria Sniper 666 channel, I can actually give it to you, behind the scenes. Most likely on Facebook. I'm not quite sure if you're actually active on Discord, but I can, send it to you on Facebook, no problem, of course. Yep. Okay, so I believe that J Dog is still in the live chat. Wait, is he? I'm actually surprised that he's still here, of course. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what J Dog is gonna be saying about this right now. All he has left is his boyfriend, Andy. This is one thing that I want to be saying right now is don't even get me started on that idiot. I mean, all I can really say right now is when it comes to, I'm not quite sure if I should be saying his, you know what? I guess is one time I'll be saying his name for context purposes. So this is one thing that I want to be saying right now, and I will be saying that for content purposes is when it comes to Annie Kishore, yes, I am going to be saying his name because one thing that I want to be saying for sure though is this guy has a huge habit of kissing, Game and Losers' ass, like quite a lot. And if I'm gonna be honest, like who watches, SpongeBob in the year of 2025? It's like, come on, it's like SpongeBob is like becoming old at this point. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Dartmat is saying right now. I gotta go. Talk to you later. Oh, okay then. All I can really say as of right now, Dartmat, is thanks for actually stopping by. But if you actually have to, do your own thing, then that just do whatever that you need to be doing. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what some other people are actually going to be saying about this really quick. Okay, so let me go ahead and see if there's gonna be some more comments really quick because so far this live stream is starting to become interesting, but at the same time, I would appreciate some more comments, of course. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get to Nigeria Sniper 666 comment in just a second, really quick, because I'm pretty sure even he's gonna be saying his piece on this. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, let me go ahead and see what Nigerian Sniper 666 is saying right now. That guy is a wimp. Dude's another. Wait, what? I mean, all I can really say right now is I'm not quite sure how I can actually say that, but I don't even know. I think the word you're actually trying to look for is evangelist fraud or something. I don't even know. But at the same time, it doesn't really come as a shocker. So all I can really say right now is I don't know how to say that word, unfortunately. But yeah, that's one thing I can definitely agree with you on. Nigeria Sniper 666. I mean, it doesn't really come as a shock, like it honestly doesn't. But yeah. But all I can really say right now is I don't know too much about, this Andy Kishore person, nor do I really care because I guess you could say the majority of his content is nothing about SpongeBob, which again, who literally watches SpongeBob? It's like that's already like literally old at this point. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and actually say some comments really quick. So just give me 1 second and I will be able to do that, no problem. So yeah. But anyways, I think it's time that I invite some people into the streamer panel, but that's up to them if they actually want to join. But if they're not going to be joining, then I can't really say anything about that, unfortunately. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and actually try to actually make that happen, of course. Yep. But I just want to make sure if some people are actually going to be joining, but if they're not going to be joining, then I guess I'm not going to be able to invite them. But who knows? But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is tomorrow I'm gonna be, addressing the live stream that actually happened yesterday with that being One House of Chaden, but it's not gonna be in this channel. So most likely it's gonna be the other channel, the Bad Blood Misfits, because I actually want to provide content from over there, of course. Yep. But you know what's also, how do I say this? Amazing that not only I can do content in my own main, channel, my main channel, but now I can do content on another channel, which is the Babylon Misfits. Which keep this in mind, I didn't created the Babylon Misfits because it was from other, some other members, of course. But thankfully, I'm a member now. Yep, you guessed it, a member, and that is me. So, anyways, all I can really say right now is thankfully I can, do content there as much as I want now. So hopefully that some people are actually going to be tuning in for that. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, let me go ahead and see who is in the live chat right here, right now. Hey Daniel Z, what's up, man? Anyways, it's good to see you right now, Daniel Z. So one thing that I want to be saying to you as of right now is it's actually good to see you. So I'm pretty sure that you're actually going to be talking about, your favorite fast food places. Which, by the way, just this is one thing I want to be saying right now is, do what you got to do if you actually want to be talking about that because I can just tell that you just like to be in like fast food places and that's perfectly fine, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get to your comment in just a second, really quick, Daniel D, because I'm pretty sure that you actually want to be saying your piece, of course. Okay, so let me go and see what Daniel D is gonna be saying right now. I'm going to baseball game Saturday. So I see. All I can really say as of right now, Daniel D, is that's actually fantastic that you're actually going to a, you know, baseball game. Hopefully I got that right, and not, basketball. But, it's kind of hard to actually, say those particular names, but, that's just my whole personal opinion. So hopefully you can actually understand where I'm actually coming from, of course. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain, Daniel D, is just do what you actually have got to be doing when it comes to your own personal life, when it comes to baseball game or basketball game, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But I'm gonna go ahead and make sure there's gonna be some more comments, of course, and most likely, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just send the streamer link. So, I might consider doing that. So, if some people actually want to, join the streamer panel, they're more than welcome to actually do so. But that's entirely up to them if they actually want to join or not. Or there is a slight possibility that I could do it tomorrow, of course, but I'm just trying to debate this if I actually want to invite some people, but if not, I can just, just do it, tomorrow, of course. So yeah, but I still want to make sure there's still gonna be some people in the live chat because, I still want to, do live streams every now and then for some of the people that to actually be enjoying, of course. Yep. But at the same time, all I can really say right now is I'm just waiting very patiently so that way, I can, see more viewership, of course, and waiting for the community that I'm actually in right now to actually be in my live chat. But if they're not going to be showing up, then I can't really say anything about that, of course. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is, people are just like doing their own thing, and that's one thing that, we all should be doing, And one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is I'll do everything I can to make sure I can provide some, more live streams. They may not be, they could be fun, but not all that fun, not like too much fun. But I do whatever I can to make sure I actually provide some fun live streams for you people to actually be enjoying, of course. Yep. Okay, so there's actually going to be some things that I have to be checking up right now. Okay, so let me see what's going on through my private DMs really quick. So yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna be worried too much about this, of course, because I actually just want to just keep interacting with some of you people in the live chat. So yeah. Okay, so I'm just waiting very patiently, and yeah. I'm just gonna go in and just talk about some more random topics. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say the full detail when it comes to Chaden's live stream yesterday, but I guess you could say that I was in his panel. Just I guess you could say me and the guy were just having some good civil conversations between me and him. And yeah, I'm trying to remember how long the live stream was. I think it was like a 2 or 3 hour live stream, but I think it was like most likely a 2 hour live stream. I don't even know. But I believe I made a community post about it, which, by the way, you people are more than welcome to actually check it out for yourself if you actually want to, of course. But thankfully, in my own personal opinion, I don't have any issues with, that being one, House of Chaden anymore. I mean, granted, me and the guy actually did had a, fallout at one point, but thankfully, as of right now, I don't have an issue with them anymore. Yes, granted, me and Tatum may be, I guess you could say neutral, or in other words, cordial with each other. In my own personal opinion, cordial and neutral, they could be the same thing. But getting back to the topic, what I was going to be saying as of right now is me and the guy are actually cool with each other. So that's one thing that does matter, of course. Yep. So keep us in mind, people. I may not be like best friend with the guy, but I'm gonna go and see if me and him can actually work on our friendship because he's doing his own thing, and he does know how to do his own live stream. I mean, I guess you could say that when he does his own live stream, he's what I'm actually noticing. He does seem to be getting like a lot more viewership, especially when it comes to his own, how do I say this, podcast, you could say. I don't even know. I don't really keep up with Chain all that much because I do have some other friends. It's not just him. I mean, me and him may not be like friends all that much, but again, me and the guy are actually neutral with each other. Me and him are just cordial. So yeah, I know some people may not like him, but whatever happens, I'm gonna be staying out of that because you know that's all I can really say though. That's for certain though. Is it's not really any of my business, of course, but if some people don't like them, then it's like it's their choice. I'm not gonna say anything about that, but yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. But going forward, I'm not quite sure if my audience knows Chain all that much though. But it's up to the audience themselves that they actually want to say their piece, of course. But who knows? Yep. So I think that's about it when it comes to Chaden, of course. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that he was here earlier, but unfortunately, he had to go see his mother, which is fine, of course. So that's his own personal choice, of course. If he has to go see his own mother, of course. But but then again, that's what we should all do from time to time. Just check up with our own family members, of course. So yeah, and there is nothing wrong with that, of course. Check it out with family every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that, and people have their choice, whatever on what they want to do, of course. But anyways, all I can really say right now is I'm not quite sure what else I should be talking about because I'm doing whatever I can to make sure if I can just talk about some more stuff. And yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But give me 1 second. There's actually some things that I have to be checking up as of right now, and yeah. But before I get into that, I just want to just like say whatever I can when it comes to Chayton, of course, and I guess you could say it's my choice if I actually want to invite him into the streamer panel, but that's entirely up to him, of course. But unfortunately, he has some things that he has to be doing at the moment, so he has his own personal life to be dealing with, of course. But all I can really say as of right now is when it comes to this year in the year 2025, I mean, I can't believe like time is going by pretty fast, but not only that, but we're literally almost finished with the first half of 2025, and eventually we're going to be, moving up to, you could say, the second half or the final half of 2025, and eventually we will be going up to next year, of course. Like, I'm being for real on this, people. Like, time is literally going by like pretty fast. Yeah, but yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and see if there's literally going to be some more people, of course, because I'm just waiting very patiently, of course. But yeah, one thing I want to be saying though is I don't think the community that I'm actually in right now are going to be showing up to my live chat because I think that they have their own lives to be dealing with, and that's fine. I can't really speak for them, of course, because granted, I am the leader, but I can't really dictate my whole community, of course, because it's not just mine, but also me and Spirit 21, of course, because there is a good reason why me and him, we both call it Umbrella Spirit Community. Well, if I'm gonna be honest with the people, it wasn't really my idea. It was Spirit 21's idea, but then he gave it a name, but then for me personally, I decided to go along with it because me and him have actually created, or the way I see it, he actually created it, and he actually named this community, Umbrella Spirit Community, of course. But not only that, but you also have like other communities, of course. Like, I'm trying to come up with names. Oh wait, I forgot. Oh yes, the Gold Spirit Community, and finally the Umbrella Corporation. So yeah. So keep this in mind. The first two are labeled communities, while the other one is labeled corporation, of course. But at the same time, I could provide some more content when it comes to the Umbrella Corporation, but I decided to just bring back Umbrella Spirit Community because, I know for a fact that for some of the other members, they wanted me to bring back Umbrella Spirit Community, and I would just go along with it. So yeah. So this is one thing I want to be saying right now for those who haven't kept up so far. So when it comes to my main channel, that will be only for Umbrella Spirit Community. But when it comes to the other one, for that one, that will be for obviously the Umbrella Corporation, of course. So yeah. But so far, in my own personal opinion, these communities are actually doing good so far. Well, I would say more or less Umbrella Spirit Community. I'm not gonna say that Gold Spirit Community is bad, of course, but this is one thing I want to be saying right now. Unfortunately, some of the members don't want to be in there, from what I've heard. But I'm not gonna get myself involved in that. But because I do have my own community, Umbrella Spirit Community. But here is the ironic part. I'm actually witnessing that. Some of the members from Gold Spirit Community, they're actually coming to Umbrella Spirit Community, and that is just I just find it to be unexpected. But if more and more people actually want to be in Umbrella Spirit Community, then they're more than welcome to do so. But first things first, they have to make sure they get permission from me and Spirit 21, of course, because I'm not the only leader. It's also Spirit 21, of course. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. But this could be an idea, of okay, so here is the idea. What if there was an idea of, how the Umbrella Spirit community, was created, and also Gold Spirit community, and finally the Umbrella Corporation. I mean, these I would consider to be good ideas, if anything. I'm pretty sure that some of you people that are actually watching that right now, even some of you people can actually agree where I'm actually coming from, of course. Yep. But so far, these communities have been like going like so far. Well, I guess you could say two communities and one corporation, you could say. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But I'm pretty sure that some of you people in the live chat are actually enjoying this conversation. But you know, one thing I'm actually noticing that some of you people are actually watching but not commenting, of course. But who knows? Yep. So I think that's pretty much more or less that's one thing that I want to be addressing when it comes to these two particular communities, and when it comes to the corporation, of course. Well, Umbrella Corporation, of course. And yes, it is a corporation, and I call it Umbrella Corporation, of course. Yep. But one thing that I do miss though is when I provided content when it comes to, that particular corporation, Umbrella Corporation, of course. But who knows? There could be a possibility that I could be providing some, content from there, but who knows? And hopefully, whenever I get the chance, hopefully I will have some new members, of course, because, I don't want to be just the only member. I actually want to have some other members who can actually provide their own content, of course. Yep. But who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see if that day will actually happen, of course. But until further notice, there's not gonna be any content, when it comes to, my group channel, of course. But there will be content when it comes to, this channel, of course. But also, as an added bonus, I will try my hardest to make sure I can provide content, when it comes to the Bad Blood Misfits, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But all I can really say as of right now is we're gonna have to just let time pass on this one to make sure what's gonna be happening from here on out. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is hopefully that you people are actually just enjoying the conversation that I'm actually having as of right now, and yeah. And whoever thought that that live stream that actually happened yesterday, I just never thought that I would just be receiving more support. Like I'm being for real, especially from Chaden, of course. But anyways, all I can really say as of right now is I believe I've already made my points when it comes to those two communities and that one corporation, and not to mention Chaden, of course. Yep. But who knows? hopefully me and him can actually have some more civil conversation behind the scenes. But if if he can't join my live stream as of right now, then that's completely understandable, of course, because I'm not gonna like force people to actually to join, of course. But one thing I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is that's entirely up to them if they actually want to be joining, of course. Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and see. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure if I'm out, missing any comments because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Yep. Okay, so I believe I've already got the majority of your people's comments, so that's one thing that I have to give credit where credit is due, of course. So yeah. One thing I want to be saying though, that's for sure though, is I'm still gonna keep this live stream going regardless because I still want to like interact with some of you people and yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is you know hopefully something new will actually happen when it comes to I guess you could say some more positive things, these two communities and this one corporation, of course. So yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain. Oh, that also reminds me. This is actually one thing that I actually want to be addressing really quick. So I believe that Chaden actually brought this to my attention. So I've been hearing rumors that there is a new Resident Evil video game, of course, and if this is the case, I'm gonna see if I can look into it. Some people are calling it Resident Evil 9, and then, but the newer title, from what I've heard, is Resident Evil. I forgot what it's called, but I guess as of right now, some people are calling it Resident Evil 9, of course. So yeah, I just never thought that there's gonna be like another one. But here's a little fun fact. Some people thought that Resident Evil 6 was gonna kill the franchise, of course. But thankfully, they actually made a huge comeback when it comes to Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Yep. But at the same time, I didn't want that franchise to end because I actually, enjoy it. Like I'm being for real as of right now. I actually do enjoy the franchise, like from start to finish. Maybe not, all the games, but you get where I'm coming from. I mean, there are certain games where I'm not gonna say it's necessarily, bad, but it could be just, predictable in a way. I mean, they could try something better, but who knows? But if I'm gonna be honest, the games are just like way better than the actual movies, of course. I got nothing against the movies, but trying to make an actual Resident Evil, how do I say this? A movie is not even all that great. I'm sorry, but I tried to get into it, but the end result was just it was horrible. Like it honestly was. I mean, they tried their best, but there's the one thing I want to say to real Resident Evil fans is just stick with the games. It's worth it. So yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and see if I can get to let me go ahead and see what the current time is. Give me 1 second really quick. Okay. So I do see the time. So yep. Okay, so all I can say as of right now is we just reached the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this live stream for one more hour. And after this, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream around the 2 hour and 30-minute mark. So yeah, that's what the time is about. So all I can really say right now is to the people in the live chat, you have about like during that, you could say about one more hour just until I actually end this live stream. Yep. I know I'm actually seeing like less viewership, but regardless, I'm still gonna go ahead and keep this live stream going regardless because I still want to get my points across and yeah. But I do appreciate that at least some of you people were actually here, but I guess it's just me you know, just me just interacting with my audience, but I'm just waiting very patiently so that way there could be some more comments, of course. But yeah. But all I can really say as of right now is most likely I'm gonna go ahead and invite some people for tomorrow, of course. And oh, there's also one thing that I'm gonna be addressing really quick. So I guess you could say starting this upcoming Saturday, one of the members in the community that I'm actually in right now, well, I guess you could say that this particular member I don't think he's in Umbrella, both Umbrella Spirit Community and the Umbrella Corporation, but I believe he's in Gold Spirit Community. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can actually wish one of the members of Gold Spirit Community this upcoming Saturday. I can't make any promises, but I'll do whatever I can to make sure if I can actually try to make it happen, of course, because you know, I guess you could say that, I want to do something nice for this person. So I don't think I'm going to be saying names because I actually want to keep it as a surprise, of course. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. And if the person actually wants to, say happy birthday in my own live stream, I'd be, happy to actually do it for him because, he's actually a good person to actually get to know, of course. So thankfully, I don't have any issue with them. But again, I'm not going to be saying names because, I actually want to keep it as a surprise. So hopefully that some people actually understand where I'm actually coming from because I actually want this, I want this particular person to actually have a good time, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But going forward, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I actually saved the majority of your people's comments. But if I haven't yet, then yeah, I'll go ahead and just get started because what can I say? You people are just pretty good people to actually interact with, and that's one thing that I want to give props to some of you people, of course. Yep. But let me go ahead and just double check the comments, the comments really quick in the live chat. Yep, I have to take a look at my live chat really quick, so just give me 1 second. Okay. Yep. But anyways, all I can really say as of right now is yeah, I'm only seeing some viewership, but I'm not really seeing a lot of people though. But I guess it's just me. So I'm still gonna go ahead and just talk about some more stuff before I actually end this live stream. I mean, I guess you could say that I could end it right now, but I still want to just keep going because you people are just awesome to actually get to know, of course. But there is some things that I have to be checking up on right now. But just give me one particular second, really quick, so just to make sure. Alrighty then. Okay, so far I'm not really seeing anything new at the moment. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'm gonna go ahead and keep this live stream going for a little while longer, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and just end this, of course. And one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'm just really hoping that for tomorrow's live stream, I'm gonna see if I can try to make that particular live stream tomorrow, and you know this should be able to happen in the Bad Blood Misfits YouTube channel, of course. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, this is just my own personal opinion. I've been talking to some of my other friends about this. So if something happens to the Babla Misfits, then we do have like another backup channel. I mean, not another Babla Misfits, but I guess you could say another community. I'm not gonna be saying the name, of course, but one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is you know, we do have the Bad Blood Misfits as of right now. So, whoever thought that, certain people reach out to me, and thankfully, as of right now, I am a member. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. But one thing that I want to be saying, though, that's for certain, though, is, thankfully, it's just myself and the three other members of the Bad Blood Misfits, of course. And I guess you could say that two of them are leaders, of course. So here is the brief story. One of them is a leader, and then the other one was a co-leader. But now I guess the both of them are actual leaders, of course. I mean, I may not be a leader of the Babylon Misfits, and same thing with this other member, which, by the way, I guess I could say his name, but yeah, but who knows? But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is myself and three other people are actually members. So that's one thing that I want to be, addressing. But anyways, all I can really say as of right now, you know what? I guess I could say the name, or can I? I don't know. But one thing that I want to be saying though is, matter of fact, I don't think I'm going to be saying the name of court because I don't want to like give out like too much, of the Bad Blood Misfits. So you people are gonna have to just go ahead and actually check it out yourselves, of course. And yes, there are times where myself and the other members will be doing their own live streams, of course. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that, people. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and make sure if there's gonna be some more comments really quick, and hopefully that there's gonna be some new people in the live chat. But if not, I can't really say anything about that, unfortunately. Yep. I'm actually taking a look at you know, my channel really quick. Yes, I'm actually taking a look at my main channel, but you know, it's just, how do I say this? I'm just really surprised right now that I'm just receiving, a lot more subscribers, and I just do appreciate, all the support that I'm actually getting. Like I really am. Yep. But hopefully I'll be able to to know some more people, especially when it comes to people outside this community. So, yeah. But anyways, let me go ahead and actually check out some. Wait, hold on just a second. I believe I'm receiving a DM really quick from Discord. Okay, so let me go ahead and actually check out this DM. I'm not going to be focusing too much on this particular DM because, I actually just want to just focus on my audience, of course. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and actually just take a look at some other DMs really quick because, you people are just awesome really quick, and I'll be able to actually let some other people know. So that way this live stream can be more entertaining that way. Yep. But anyways, I'm not quite sure what else I can actually talk about really quick. I mean, I don't even know. But so far, I've been actually having a good day, just myself and just, you know, interacting with you people, of course. But I can just tell if some people are actually busy right now, that's fine. But hopefully, I'll just talk about some more topics, of course. Yep. And there's actually going to be some other things that I will be addressing though is I believe I already set my points across when it comes to early when it comes to that being one house of Chaden, and when it comes to these two communities and this one corporation, of course. I mean, I don't even know what else to be talking about for the time being. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is um if some new members really want to join these two communities and this one corporation, well, as of right now, you know we're only going to be looking for new members when it comes to these two new community. I mean, for me personally, I could try to find new members when it comes to the umbrella corporation, yes, but at the same time, I'm gonna have to put that community on hold for now. So for the time being, I'm only gonna be focusing on Umbrella Spear and Gold Spear. Well, keep this in mind, only Umbrella Spear. But when it comes to Gold Spear, that is between the other leaders, of course. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, give me 1 second really quick. Alrighty then. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna be worried too much about that. But let me go ahead and see if there's literally gonna be some updates really quick, like something new. Wait, hold on just a second, really quick. Okay, there we go. I guess I can go in and actually try to do some research really quick before I actually talk about some, things really quick before I actually end this. Yep. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I have to make sure if I actually do save the majority of your people's comments, of course. Yep. That also reminds me, there's actually something that I have to check up on. Let me see. Alrighty then. I should be very thankful that, I'm using an actual computer because all I can really say right now. Okay, so this is one thing that I want to say right now to the people in the live chat, especially when it comes to streamer wise. I would highly recommend you use a computer when it comes to like starting your own live stream when it comes to streamer rather than a phone, because when it comes to a computer you can actually do a lot more things than a phone does. And not only that, but there is one slight difference. When it comes to computer, you could actually share your screen. For your phone, you can't do that. So there is a slight difference. So that's one thing that I do want to point out to some of the people that are actually watching this right now. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and actually check out some things really quick. Alrighty then. Okay. That's all I wanted to just make sure. Yep. But anyways, wait, hold on just a second really quick. I'm actually surprised that is it just me? Wait, hold on just a second really quick. I think I'm seeing a new comment really quick, but just give me 1 second. Okay, so this is one thing I want to say as of right now is who is doing a live stream. Uh, I think this is what you said right now, Livy, but all I can really say right now is I'm not quite sure what you actually mean by that. Like, unfortunately, I have no idea. But if you're actually trying to refer to, how do I say this? Give me 1 second, really quick. Oh, that's right. Classics. I mean, I'm not quite sure if he's going to be doing his own live stream, but that's entirely up to him, of course. But keep this in mind, I would, join his live streams, but I don't know him all that much. I mean, granted, me and the guy are actually trying to get to know our friendship, of course, but at the same time, I'll do whatever I can to make sure if I can actually try to make some time so that way I can actually, see if I can actually try to join his live streams, of course. So thankfully, as of right now, I don't have an issue with classics. So thankfully, he's actually a pretty chill guy to get to know. So okay, okay. So I believe this is what you're saying right now, Livy. He will do a stream. Oh, okay then. All I can really say is of right now. Wait, give me 1 second. I'm gonna search this up myself really quick. So just give me 1 second, just to make sure if he's actually doing a live stream. But if he's unable to do it, then I can't really, speak on classic when it comes to his part because let's be honest, like this is one thing I want to say, Libby, if you're actually watching this. So when it comes to classics, he could do whatever he wants when it comes to his own live streams, but at the same time, I don't know what Classic likes to be doing though, because Classic is his own person, of course. So that's one thing that I want to be saying in regards to him. So yep. But one thing I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is so this is one thing that I want to be saying when it comes to you, Livy, is if you're still in the live chat, if you actually want to just say your piece, then go ahead and actually say whatever that you need to be saying. Yep. Because I believe I've already got the majority of your comments, Livy. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'll have to just double check if I actually, you know, got your comments. But if I didn't do that, then I can't really say anything about that. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though is, I'm just like really surprised that you're actually still in my live chat, of course. But yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is hopefully for future live streams, hopefully that the community that I'm actually in right now will be able to show up. But if they're unable to show up, then I can't really say anything about that, unfortunately. Yep. So just give me 1 second really quick. I think most likely I'm gonna go ahead and actually search up his channel really quick. So yeah, Classics channel. So let me just go ahead and actually take a look at this really quick because, he should be able to have his own YouTube channel, but I don't know too much about his content, unfortunately. So just give me 1 second and hopefully I'll be able to take a look at it. No problem, of course. And I believe from time to time he likes to change his name, of course, but I don't know why he would do that. But, I think it's, better for him to keep his name consistent, but, that's just me, of course. But anyways, let me go ahead and actually take a look at this for myself, so that way I can see if there's gonna be something new. Like I'm not really seeing anything as of right now, which is like extremely unexpected. But who knows? Maybe something new will actually, appear in the live chat. Yep. But anyways, I don't think I'm not really seeing any new comments right now in the live chat, but I'll see what I can talk about, for the time being before I actually end this live stream because I don't think there's not really more for me to say, like nothing. But one thing that I want to be saying though is hopefully that's to the people in the live chat, if they're actually watching this, hopefully that you were enjoying this, because for me personally, I was actually having fun for the most part, but then I'm not really seeing a lot of people though, which is a bit unfortunate, of course. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though is, hopefully I'll be able to provide even some different live streams, of course. But yep. And I might even consider bringing, back chill streams, with the background relaxing music. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that even some of you people actually want me to actually bring back those, of course. I know in the past I've been like doing some open forum, but at the same time, I'm gonna see if I can actually try to bring back some chill streams, of course, with the background music, because it's actually good to actually interact with people with some relaxing background music, of course. Yep. But going forward, it's finally about the time, people. I'm not gonna end this like right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and end this once I actually reach, that particular hour mark, or whatever you want to call it, that particular, mark, of course. So it's finally about that time, people. But at the same time, I'm still gonna go ahead and just keep this live stream going, of course. But I was just expecting some more people to actually show up, though. But maybe some other time they'll be able to show up, of course. But they could be busy with their own personal lives, but I can't really speak for them, of course, because they're their own person, of course. And yeah. But let me go ahead and actually just check out some more things really quick. Okay, I'm not gonna be worried too much about that. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But there's also going to be some other things that I will be addressing, of course, but I'll get to that in just a second, really quick, but just not right now though, because I'm just waiting very patiently. Like, I'm just surprised that I'm still like going strong right now. So yeah. Okay, so that reminds me, is there's this like movie trailer. I might consider reacting to it, but I'm not gonna be reacting to it right now though. But there is a slight possibility that I could react to this certain movie trailer, which is either next week or 2 weeks from now. But you know, it's my decision, so I'm gonna go to see when I can actually get that ready, of course. Yep. Okay, so I believe I'm seeing some more viewership, of course, but again, I'm just waiting very patiently so that way some people can actually comment, of course. But if there's not going to be a lot of comments, then I can't really say anything about that, unfortunately. But at the same time, you people are just more than welcome to say whatever that you need to be saying, of course. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is so far the selection has been going pretty well so far, and yeah. So I'm just really hoping that I can actually provide some more live stream when it comes to this month and especially next month, of course. So both June and July. Yep. And this is one thing that I do want to be addressing really quick is I do apologize for like the lack of live streams, and I believe this actually happened in both April and May due to the fact that I was, focusing on my personal life, of course. So yeah, hopefully that some people can actually understand where I'm actually coming from. So yeah, but thankfully I was able to do some live streams. Well, some of them on March, of course. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. And I don't think I've actually did some live streams on, both January and February, the first 2 months when it comes to 2025, of course. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is I'm just really hoping that our future will be something that's actually good. I know some people may not like this year 2025, and some people actually prefer last year, which is 2024, but yeah. But then again, time is going by like pretty fast, of course. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'm not quite sure if some people have actually remember this, but last year was definitely a good year, especially when it comes to myself and the people in this community, especially Spirit 21, of course. I mean, I'm not quite sure how this year is going by so far, but I mean, I would say it's in the middle. It's not like good, it's not bad either, but yeah. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I actually started YouTube back in like, the year 2022, I believe. And one thing that I want to be saying though is when it comes to that particular year, I'm not gonna say it's either good or bad, but it's like in the middle, of course. So yeah, but one thing that is for certain though is when it comes to the year 2023, yeah, I can honestly say that that year it was definitely bad. It was not a good, you know, a good year to begin with. And not only that, but I guess you could say that there was like tons of drama, but I'm not gonna be addressing it because, I'm not trying to dwell on 2023, it's like what one of my friends say, don't dwell on the past. Yep. It's just far better not to dwell on the past because, the past is the past and we have to focus more on the future in a way. Yep. And I'm pretty sure that some people can actually agree where I'm actually coming from. It's like what this one person said, if I can remember. I'm trying to think, what has the person said to me when it comes to the past and the future, of course. But one thing that is for certain though is, it's pretty obvious that we're in the present. Okay, so I believe this is what the person said. Let go of the past and focus on the future. And if I'm gonna be honest, I have to agree with what the person just said, of course. Yep. But all I can really say right now is we don't know what the future is gonna be for us, but hopefully it's gonna be something that we can actually remember. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. Wait, hold on. I think someone just sent me something just now. Wait, hold on. I believe I'm seeing a screenshot photo just now. I'm not gonna be looking at it right now because I'm actually doing a live stream as of right now. So I'm not gonna be focusing too much on that because I actually want to focus, to some of the people in the live chat. So yep, that's one thing that I want to be saying as of right now. So yeah. But all I can really say as of right now is I believe I already said what I need to be saying, of course, but it would have been nice if, the community that I'm in right now would have been here. I'm talking about like the members, of course, but and yes, there are times where I could just be doing like, I guess to a certain extent a parody of a certain someone, which keep this in mind, I'm not gonna be saying names for obvious reasons because let's be honest, a lot of us are actually trying to move on from this particular individual, of course, but most likely I'm not gonna be saying, his name, of course, because let's be honest, he just not even worth it. But one thing that is for certain though is he can go in and try to shove his, music opinions down our throats as much as he wants. But one thing that is for certain though is we are not going to accept him back whatsoever because the damage has been done for what he actually did. So yeah, and not only that, but he can actually try to make as many community posts as he wants. Like I'm being for real on this, people. He can go in and try anything he wants. But one thing that is for certain, though, is we are not allowing him back in our community whatsoever because the damage has been done. And if he can't accept that, then that's his own problem. Because for the most part, we're just ignoring him and just doing our own thing. And some people need to realize this. You know, it's like when we are doing our own thing, you know, we're doing it right. But if some people can't learn to accept that, then that's their own personal problem, of course. Like, it's not our fault that we're not inviting them to our community. It's like it's their fault because they're the ones that are causing, you could say their own drama in our community. That is something that we are not going to tolerate whatsoever, especially in my own community. You guess it, especially this one, Umbrella Spirit community, and not to mention, my own community, the Umbrella Corporation. But when it comes to the Gold Spirit community, that's our own community. That's someone else's community, of course. So yeah. So that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course, but keep this in mind, as of right now, I got two. Well, as of right now, I'm only going to be focusing on one, while the other one's going to be on hold for now. And then for the third one, that's, someone else's community, of course. So I'm not in it. So one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is that's their own community, of course. But all I can really say as of right now is so far this live stream has been like going like pretty well so far, but I was just expecting some more comments, but so far I'm not really seeing anything all that new as of right now. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I will be able to provide some more fun live streams for you people to actually be enjoying, of course. Yep. But let me go ahead and actually check out something new really quick. Wait, hold on, just really quick. Okay. This should be interesting. So I guess you could say that this particular person on Instagram just sent me something new right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually check it out really quick. I'm not gonna be sharing it, but I'll just be checking it out really quick. So okay, so just give me a moment really quick so that way I can actually check this out for myself because I actually want to take a look at this. I think this could have something to do with this, with the new Resident Evil game. And if this seems to be the case, I'm gonna go ahead and actually check it out for myself though. But I'm not gonna be sharing it because, I don't want to go off topic, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and actually look more into this because, this is actually something that's actually worth looking at. Like I'm being for real on this, people. Okay, so let me just go in and actually take a look at this article really quick. So yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. Okay, so it actually turns out it said right here that this game Resident Evil 9. So this is what it said. It could be playable in both first and third person. And if this seems to be the case, then in my own personal opinion, it's gonna be a blast to play. Yep. But if I'm gonna be honest with you people, this is one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is when it comes to Resident Evil, like I would rather just prefer to be doing third person. I mean, I got nothing against like first person, but it just feels like Call of Duty to me. Like, no offense. I got nothing against Call of Duty, but that's just my own personal opinion. So yeah. But for me personally, I always just enjoy Resident Evil like in third person, if anything. So yeah, that's just my own personal opinion. Yep. So that's one thing I want to say when it comes to Resident Evil. But anyways, I'm gonna see if I can look more into this article because so far, this article that I'm actually looking at is actually just amazing as of right now. I might consider talking to this particular individual on Instagram, but once after I'm done with this live stream, of course, because I don't want to get off to topic. So yeah, that's one thing that I do want to be saying as of right now. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the time in just a bit before I actually end this live stream. So yeah, hopefully to some of the people in the live chat, hopefully that you're actually enjoying this live stream, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. So all I can really say right now is this live stream has been going like pretty strong, you could say, but yeah. So I think I'm gonna go and take a look at the time as of right now. Okay, so we've just reached the 2 hour mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this live stream for another 30 more minutes. And after that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream around the 2 hour and 30-minute mark. So yeah. So all I can really say right now is to the people in the live chat, you have that much time to actually be saying your final piece if you actually want to, but that's entirely up to you, of course. Yep. So all I can really say as of right now is this live stream has been like going like pretty well if I do say so myself. So yeah, I'm actually just enjoying myself as of right now, but it would have been better if there were some more comments, of course. But yeah, but I could look more into some more stuff really quick, especially with this article that I'm actually looking up on. So yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. But who knows? But I'm just like super pumped that this Resident Evil game is actually going to be coming, of course. But one thing that I want to be saying though is I'm pretty sure that this game is only going to be released on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So I don't think there's going to be any more games when it comes to PS4 and Xbox One, of course. So yeah, that's one thing I want to say. Oh, and by the way, if anyone asks when it comes to which console was better, when it comes to between both PS4 and Xbox One, people are immediately going to say PS4, of course. So yeah, that's one thing I want to be saying. Because from what I've heard, the PS4 does have some, more stuff when compared to the Xbox One, of course. So that's what I'm actually hearing when it comes to, those two consoles, of course. So yeah, that's just me, of course. But in my own personal opinion, I would say that gaming is evolving in a way. But at the same time, I think it's just unnecessary for the consoles to be like raising prices. I mean, it's like it shouldn't even be a thing. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, it shouldn't even be a thing whatsoever. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying though. That's for certain. But anyways, let me go ahead and make sure if there's gonna be something new really quick when it comes to. Wait, hold on one second. Okay, thankfully I just take a look at that, of course. So yeah, that also reminds me. I'm gonna go to make sure if you know some of my other friends are actually live right now. So just give me 1 second, really quick. And so far, I'm not really seeing anything new at the moment. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go in and just say what I need to be saying, and then after this, I'm just gonna go ahead and just end this in just a bit because I don't think there's not really more for me to be saying, of course. So yeah, but one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'll do what I can to make sure if I can provide some more live streams, and for those who are actually watching, hopefully that some of you can actually stay tuned for this week's live stream. So I'll do what I can to make sure if I can do a live stream on the Babylon Misfits tomorrow. This is one thing I want to say right now is I can't make any promises, but I'll definitely see if I can at least try to. And I'll definitely see if I can try to do this upcoming Saturday's live stream, for a certain member birthday. Yeah, that's one thing I want to say right now. So I'll do what I can to make sure if I can provide this birthday stream for this particular member, especially when it comes to Gold Spirit community. Yep. So in my own personal opinion, is gonna be a fantastic stream, if anything. But I'm not gonna be saying the full details because I don't want to like say too much, if anything. So you people are just gonna have to just tune in for yourselves, if anything. Yep. But in my own personal opinion, I would say it's gonna be more or less a surprise. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and see if I'm receiving some more DMs really quick. Just want to make sure about this. Okay, so far I'm not really seeing anything as of right now. Yep. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure if I can let certain people know about this week's live streams, and most likely I will have a talk with them behind the scenes. So that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. But anyways, I'm really hoping that you people did enjoy the majority of this live stream, of course. So it's finally about the time for me to end this, of course, because there's not really more for me to talk about. Of course, I mean, I guess you could say that the majority of this live stream is. I know I've already said earlier that I did came back from my 2 month hiatus earlier, but most likely they were just an open form, if anything. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is you people are just awesome. And then, if some people actually want to talk to me behind the scenes right after this live stream, I'd be actually happy to actually do that, of course. Yep. And this is one thing that I do want to be saying right now is hopefully I'll be able to provide some even more live streams, especially I'll try to make them fun. And one thing that I want to be saying right now is I might consider doing some more of those reaction live streams where I just react to a certain video and then I just watch it from the sidelines and then, you people just enjoy it, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But other than that, I'm gonna see if I can try to find some more random topics to actually be talking about before I actually end this live stream, of course. I mean, I could end it right now, but I don't want to do that because, I still want to make sure some other people are still going to be in the live chat, of course. But if not, I can't really say anything about that. Yep. But I could look into some more articles in a way. But yeah. But give me 1 second, really quick. So let me just check this out for myself. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure if there's going to be some other DMs really quick, especially from Instagram. Keep this in mind, I'm not a huge fan of Instagram, but there are times where I'd like to check up with Instagram. But at the same time, this is one thing that I want to say to the people that are actually watching this right now is I know I got some friends on Instagram, but keep this in mind, I'm not really active there as much because I like to be active mostly on these two platforms, that being both Facebook and Discord. But if I were to choose between either Facebook and Discord, I'm gonna go with Facebook because Facebook seems to be slightly more easier, if anything. Yep. So that's one thing that I want to be saying to the people that are actually watching this as of right now. So yeah. Wait, did I receive another, you know, DM from Discord? Okay, so just give me 1 second really quick so that way I can actually check this out really quick. Alrighty then. Okay, so I believe that Classy just DM me just now. So okay, so this is what he has to be saying about this. So he might consider delaying his own live stream so that way he could do it, I guess you could say right after I end my live stream, and I'll have to think about if I'm gonna actually be joining his live stream, of course. But who knows? But keep this in mind, I can't, always be on every live stream, of course, because one thing that is for certain though is I do have a life outside the internet, and as a matter of fact, we all have lives outside the internet. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. I mean, don't get me wrong, live streams can be fun every now and then, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to go on every live stream like throughout the whole day because it could be a bit too much, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. But so far this live stream has been going pretty well so far. But this is just my own personal opinion. It would have been something if this new subscriber of mine, or rather this new supporter of mine, could have said more of what she has to be saying right now. And for those who don't know, yes, it's a she, of course. But I could say her name, but I'll have to say her name another time, of course. I do know how to say like partial her name, but not her full name. But hopefully I'll have to get used to it, of course. But yeah, that's just my own personal opinion, of course. Keep this in mind, people. I'm not really good with how do you say this? What's the word I'm looking for? Give me 1 second. Oh yes, name pronunciations. Because if I'm gonna be honest, there are certain names that I can't even get right, unfortunately. So hopefully to the people in the live chat, hopefully you can actually understand where I'm actually coming from. So that's one thing I want to say. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is so far, I actually did enjoy this, live stream. Like I'm just being, for real on this. Like I actually am. Yep. But going forward, one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is hopefully that myself and some other members can actually provide their own content, of course. But who knows? I can't really speak on their behalf, of course. But when it comes to me, I'll do what I need to be doing when it comes to. Wait, hold on, just a second, really quick. Okay, so just give me 1 second, really quick, because I think someone from Facebook is actually sending me a DM really quick. So just give me 1 second, really quick, so that way I can take a look at this on Facebook. And I'm not gonna be worried too much about that, of course. But at the same time, most likely right after this live stream, I'll do what I can to make sure if I can provide some support when it comes to classics, of course. But if some people actually want to talk to me behind the scenes, then that's entirely up to them, of course. So yeah, that's one thing I want to say. But anyways, one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is so far the live stream has been going fantastic, like I said just now. But one thing that I want to be saying though is you will definitely see some more live streams that I can try to provide, of course. And this live stream may not be all that fun, of course, but I'm gonna see if I can try to make some other live streams that can be fun. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. Okay, so I'm starting to see that this certain group chat on Facebook wants to have a simple conversation with me, but most likely I'll take a look at it, but right after the live stream, of course, because I still want to just continue just for a bit before I actually end this in just a bit. Yep. But all I can really say right now is I do appreciate, to the people. Yes, this is one thing I want to say right now. To the people in the live chat, I just really appreciate the support that I'm just receiving as of right now. Yep. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and actually take a look at some other things really quick. So yeah, just give me 1 second, really quick. Yeah, I'll take a look more into this, but right after the live stream, this particular group chat, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. I'm not quite sure if some other people in the live chat are gonna be commenting, but who knows? But all I can really say as of right now is we're gonna have to just wait and see, of course. So wait, hold on just a second, really quick. Okay, so this is one thing I want to be saying right now is I can just tell that the group chat wants to talk with me, but again, these people are gonna have to wait right after the live stream, of course, because I still want to just go ahead and just continue really quick before I actually end this in just a bit. Yep. But anyways, I think for the time being, I'm just gonna go ahead and just mute this group chat really quick before I actually continue with this. So yeah, that's one thing I want to say. Okay, so I think I'm seeing a voice method clip, but I'm not gonna play that right now because I'm just continuing with this live stream, of course. So yeah, that's one thing I want to say. So I'm gonna see if I can look into that later, of course, because I still want to make sure if I can just finish this live stream before I end this. And not only that, but I'm just wanting to make sure if some people are gonna say their final P before I actually end this. Yep. So let me go ahead and see if I can actually get this ready really quick. Alrighty then. Okay. Just wanted to just wanted to make sure really quick. Yep. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna go ahead and actually bring back those live streams, of course. Those chill live streams that I've been doing in the past. I mean, yeah. Most likely I'll be able to actually do that, if anything. So yeah. Okay, so there is something that I'm gonna be putting in the live chat really quick. So just give me 1 second, and this should be able to do it, of course. So there it is. So all I can really say as of right now is I'm gonna go ahead and actually just stick around for a bit. When it comes to my own live stream, and then I'm finally gonna go ahead and just end this in just a bit. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But give me 1 second really quick. So just to make sure. Okay, so far I'm actually doing good so far. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wait patiently to make sure if some people are gonna be leaving their final comments. But if not, I'm gonna go ahead and just end this in just a bit already. But thankfully, one thing that I want to be saying though that's for certain though is thankfully I was able to check out some other things really quick, especially when it comes to this particular article. Yeah. So that's one thing that actually caught me by surprise. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, other than that, all I can really say as of right now is unfortunately there was not a lot of comments in the live chat, but at least I got some viewership and some people were able to actually say their piece, if anything. So that's one thing that I gotta give credit, where credit is due, of course. But at the same time, hopefully there is a slight possibility that, how do I say this? That the members in the community where I'm in right now will be able to make an appearance. But I can't really, this is one thing that I want to be saying as of right now. I can't really dictate if they're going to be coming, but that's entirely up to them, of course. But if they actually have lives outside of YouTube, yeah, I'm pretty sure that they do. But if they're just like doing their own thing, then that's fine, of course. But one thing that I want to be saying as of right now is time is actually going by like pretty fast. Like it honestly is. And not only that, but one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is hopefully for these upcoming months in the year of 2025 will be at least something. And not only that, but I'm also, hoping that, this year will be a good one. I can't really predict the future. I mean, who knows? What if next year will be, a better one? But at the same time, this is one thing that I want to be saying right now is we shouldn't dwell on the past, but what we can do is focus on our future, and that's what people need to start doing, you know? So that's one thing that I want to be saying though. Yep. And I believe it like what this person said as well. What's the word? You can't change the past, but you can change your future. And if I'm gonna be honest, I have to agree with this person as well. But you know, I guess some people would use this quote from like movies, TV shows, or video games, but this is indeed true, you know? And I'm pretty sure that some of you people in the live chat can actually agree where I'm actually coming from. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. But anyways, wait, hold on just a second really quick. Okay, so now I'm starting to see some more voice method clips, but again, I'm actually doing a live stream as of right now. So I'll take a look at this, but right after, of course, because I actually just want to finish this live stream, of course. Yep. But anyways, let me go ahead and see if there's gonna be some. Give me 1 second. Some final comments, but if not, I'm finally going to go ahead and end this really quick. And, hopefully to people in the live chat, hopefully that you're actually going to be checking out, this week's live stream, of course. So, yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. Yep. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what else I can actually talk about as of right now, but I believe I've already said what I actually need to say throughout the majority of my own live stream, of course. So, yeah. But anyways, I believe I'm seeing a new a comment from this person really quick, and I will get it that in just a second, really quick. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so I do see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to this person's comment really quick. So give me 1 second, so that way I can try to actually, check this out for myself. Okay, so I should be able to see it. Okay, so let me go ahead and see who is here, right now. We've got Prime Force One. How's it going? Anyways, it's good to see you right now, Prime Force One. So all I can really say as of right now, Prime Force One, is I'm actually surprised that you're actually in my live chat. I know usually you would be busy, but at the same time, I'm just, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm just pretty surprised that you're actually here in my live chat. One thing I want to say to you, Prime Force One, is I guess you could say I would invite you, but unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream in just a bit. So, you know, but you can actually talk to me, in the live chat. But if you actually want to talk to me behind the scenes, we can actually do that, but right after the live stream ends, of course. But you're more than welcome to actually say your piece in the live chat before I actually end this live stream, of course. So, just to give you a quick heads up on that, Prime Force One. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually save your comment because one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for sure, is you're actually a pretty awesome person to actually be around Prime Force One. So that's one thing that I gotta give you credit for. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Okay, so wait, hold on just a second. Is it just me, or is this group chat trying to DM me once again? But at the same time, I will take a look at the DMs, but right after this live stream, of course, because I still want to continue and just, interact with some of you people because you people are just awesome. So, yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's literally gonna be some any final comments, but if there's not going to be any, then I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream in just a bit, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But other than that, all I can really say right now to Prime Force One is this. So Prime Force One. So if you have any final comments that you actually want to be saying, go ahead and actually say your piece, and then I'm gonna go ahead and actually, end this live stream in just a bit. But other than that, all I can really say right now is hopefully they're actually having a good day so far. If you actually want to talk to me behind the scenes, for me personally, it doesn't really matter. When it comes to, StreamYard or Discord, just let me know and we'll be able to have that, conversation with each other. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, all I can really say as of right now is this live stream has been going pretty well so far, which I do appreciate. So all I can really say right now is, you know, so far this live stream has been like going like pretty well so far, if I do say so myself. So yeah. But anyways, Prime Force One, if you're actually still in the live chat, this is one thing that I want to be saying to you as of right now is I can go ahead and actually send you, the streamer link, or if you actually want to, talk in your own Discord server, like I wouldn't mind. Like either or, it doesn't matter. Like you can talk to me whenever you want. And one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for sure, Prime Force One, is I'm actually here for you as a friend, and I'll do everything what I can to make sure that you and I we both work on our friendship. Because granted, I know that I barely met you. I don't know when though, but one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is whenever we get the chance, I'll definitely see if I can work on my friendship with you because you do seem like a pretty, cool person to actually be around. And that's one thing that I gotta, say about you, Prime Force One. So yeah, but just let me know whenever you can, and then we'll be able to have that, civil conversation, of course. Yep. But anyways, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's gonna be some final comments from Prime Force One or anyone else in the live chat because I'm finally gonna go ahead and actually end this in just a bit. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. But anyways, other than that, all I can really say as of right now is I'm just like really surprised that, I'm just having like a person, from the last minute or of the final minute, whatever you want to call it, Yep, the final minute is actually here in the live chat. But I just appreciate, the support that I'm actually getting as of right now. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. Yep. So all I can really say right now is I'm just gonna be double checking. There's gonna be some any final comments, of course, but let me put this in the live chat really quick. So yeah, I guess you could say around during that, time, I'm gonna go ahead and end this in just a bit. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying, of course. So all I can really say right now, there's literally gonna be some any final comments. Go ahead and just say your piece because I have to end this live stream in just a bit because I don't think there's not really more for me to say if I'm gonna be, honest with some of you people. So yeah. But I'll do whatever I can to make sure if I can do some more live stream when it comes to this week, when it comes to tomorrow and, you know, Saturday, of course. But all I can really say right now is I can't make any promises, but I'll do everything I can to make sure if I can do some live streams on those two particular days, of course. So that's one thing that I do want to be saying. Yep. But all I can really say as of right now is we're gonna have to wait and see if that will actually happen, of course. But let me go ahead and see if I can get this, ready really quick. Okay, so it's finally about time for me to actually end this live stream, of course. But all I can really say as of right now is so far this live stream has been going pretty well so far, and that's one thing that I do appreciate from some of you people to actually be enjoying this. But one thing that I want to be saying though, that's for certain though, is try to stay tuned, or as a matter of fact, definitely stay tuned for this upcoming week's live streams, of course. So yeah. So one thing that I want to be saying though is for certain though is for those who are actually watching, hopefully tomorrow I can provide a special live stream in the Babylon Misfits, and for this upcoming Saturday, I'm really hoping that I can provide a certain member from Gold Spirit community this upcoming Saturday, of course. But again, I'm not gonna be revealing too many details, especially when it comes to Saturday. But when it comes to tomorrow, of course, I might consider talking about more. How do I say this? When it comes to that particular live stream that I was in with Chaden, which was, yesterday, more specifically last night, of course, because, you could say that this, live stream actually happened, yeah, it actually happened. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying, of course. But anyways, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and actually end this in just a bit because that's literally what I needed to be saying, of course. Yep. But anyways, wait, hold on just a second. Okay, so I'm gonna go and see what the person gonna be saying right now. We've got Sonny the Scene Girl. How's it going? Anyways, it's good to see you right now, Sonia. But anyways, Sonia, since you're actually here right now, unfortunately, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream in just a bit because there's not really more for me to say, unfortunately, because I've already said what I had to say. But at the same time, I'll make this brief and short. I'm gonna see if I can actually try to do some live streams this upcoming week. So I'm gonna see if I can do a live stream tomorrow in the Babylon Misfits, and then another one, this upcoming Saturday for a member from Gold Spirit community. I guess you could say that his birthday will be coming this Saturday, but I'm not gonna be seeing the full detail because I actually want to keep it as a surprise. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. So yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream in about like one more minute because there's not really more for me to say, and I believe I already got my points across when it comes to the majority of this live stream. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. So I believe I already got the final comment before I actually am gonna be ending this live stream, of course. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to be saying. So yeah, I can honestly say that this live stream has been going good so far. So I guess the final thing that I want to be saying as of right now is I have officially returned from my 2 month hiatus, and hopefully I'll be able to provide some, live streams this week. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream because I've already said what I had to say. But anyway, thank you for watching this dope live stream that I was currently doing now. So give this live stream a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next upcoming live stream. Bye, everyone.